You know, he talks so much crap, you know, he talks so much stuff. And when he comes, he gets the opportunity to fight. And then he go takes his drugs. What did he... Well, he drank contaminated water, I bet you money. We can't wait for the excuse.
That UCAD are going to ask VADA for the report.
That has happened.
Oh, it hasn't?
Yeah.
And sampling. So if they get that, then they will take it over.
It doesn't make you a better fighter. I boxed 3 judges, beat 2 of them, drew with 1 of them. It doesn't make you a better fighter. So you take your gear for whatever reason. It doesn't make you technically better. It doesn't make you throw a better jab.
It's just been a complete nightmare. It's been, as I say, been badly handled. And it's not done boxing or anyone else involved in any favours. I mean, no favours at all. It's just ridiculous. Like every boxer on the card will be tested. And I'm sure they're going to test him a bit more because that would be the natural reaction. I'm sure of that, and he knows that better than anybody. But every boxer will be tested. It's a high-profile card, and the Border Control will be all over it. It's not just VADA; they're also tested by UCAD.
Any fighter that has knowingly cheated in a sport of boxing should never be allowed to fight again. And I do not believe that he's one.
Hit Adrian, not to Mike Tony. God forbid if that happened. And this guy's on gear, he's found out at the end. What I'm saying is that they now need to talk about legal action outside of boxing. Say if you take this, you are legally going to be prosecuted because you could kill someone.
Bad beef, or there's going to be tea, or it's going to be them burritos he's been eating in Mexico. Fucking mug.
Perfect reason why it's a tiny molecule that tiny trace that's been left. That's why it got contaminated. One sample was tested positive, and then Connor's cheated. I don't know because we only know the facts are failed to process. That's the
point where Fabio is stumbling around. He's not even aware of his surroundings. It doesn't look like the doctors are checking on him round after round. And, you know, I said Daniel had big stones to get off the canvas. Fabio Wardley's got a chin of iron because he ate some absolute nukes. Shots that put Anthony Joshua on the floor from Daniel Dubois and probably would have put a lesser man in the hospital that night. I mean, I'm sure Fabio's in the hospital now, but stretcher.
Already neglected all of his little bit of boxing skill, what he's learned over the white collar and through the fights that he's been involved in. I mean, he's had a fantastic career, and I don't think this is the end of Fabio Wardley at all, but he showed that he's a bit naive and a bit green. Like I said, his attacks were very crude. I don't know what Ben Davison should have been telling him. Stop throwing that overhand right from out of range. It's like he's looking for the knockout punch. He's not even got his feet in range. So Daniel
fighting a world champion, a legitimate world champion for a title, and beating a world champion who's already a world champion. And Fabio Wardley hasn't beat a current world champion to be the champion, has he? Josie Park.
Daniel Dubois just tested positive for banned substances, and the aftermath is tearing the heavyweight division apart.
But I don't think he should fight. I genuinely don't think he should take that rematch. I think that's too dangerous. I genuinely think he took way too much punishment, and that was so severe. If I were him, I'd never.
This isn't some random accusation or internet rumor. We're talking about confirmed test results that came back dirty after his brutal war with Fabio Wardley. The same fight where Wardley got beaten to a pulp.
It was quite obvious that right hand was the shot he was working on, whether that was a game plan or a tactic, or they felt there was an opening with Daniel with whatever he was doing. Could you see why that was a tactic? Could you see the opening, what they were aiming for?
Yeah, but that's his big shot, isn't it? The right hand's his big shot, and you know.
But they was obviously doing that because they obviously seen some sort of weakness in Daniel.
Yeah, but if you think when Usyk boxed Dubois, Usyk hit him. I think it was a left hook. What got him, and they're working on.
Frank Warren tried to explain it away, talking about how all fighters get tested on big cards. But here's the thing, when your guy pops hot, all that testing talk just makes it look worse. Like they knew something was coming.
Nobody could ever question this young man again. Yeah? All that quitting nonsense, nobody will ever question him again.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world under you.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Eddie Hearn won't directly accuse Dubois, but listen to what he's not saying. He's talking about punishment for cheating while staying silent on the actual fighter involved. That's political boxing talk right there.
We were in there with a very dangerous fighter in the name of Fabio Wardley. He should be proud of.
Johnny Nelson dropped the real truth bomb, though. He said PEDs don't make you a better boxer, but they make you a more dangerous one. Think about that. Wardley was taking clean shots from a guy who might have been chemically enhanced.
Fight, I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a...
And here's where it gets wild. Derek Chisora is absolutely fed up with the excuses already starting to fly. He's calling out the pattern serious allegations drop, then suddenly everyone's got explanations and justifications ready to go.
No jab, nothing, looking for power shots. It's like he didn't train. He was busy commentating. Little bastard. He was supposed to fucking train in the gym. Dude, how many jabs did Fabio chuck? Last jab, he didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything.
Dave Coldwell wants everyone to pump the brakes, saying we need all the facts first. But even he admits a failed test is a failed test. You can talk about trace elements all you want, dirty is dirty.
See, I thought Daniel improved well. He's learned. He's learned from his knockdowns before. He's learned a lot. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he did well, better.
The fight itself was absolutely brutal. Wade Plemons described Wardley as completely disoriented, taking massive punishment without proper awareness. Now we're finding out his opponent might have had chemical help delivering that damage.
You know what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit. His corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley has still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag. He looked dead on his feet. But
Carl Frock broke down how Wardley abandoned all his fundamentals during the fight. But was that because he couldn't handle the pressure, or because he was facing someone with an unfair advantage? The context changes everything.
Demons when he got dropped. I think he started to think, oh, demons when he started to think his things weren't working. But you know what was giving Daniel confidence? He kept landing a jab. Every time Wardley threw a right hand, Dubois would stick a jab and it would touch his target. That day was giving Dubois hope that, okay, then I can stand in front of my target and I can land with a jab. And he knew he was softening up Wardley with a jab as the rounds went on.
Multiple experts are now questioning if Wardley should even consider a rematch. Barry McGuigan thinks the damage was already too severe. Imagine stepping back in there knowing your opponent tested positive.
Never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that.
Daniel Dubois himself talked about going to that dark place mentally during the fight. Well, apparently he might have had pharmaceutical help getting there. That warrior mindset hits different when there's PEDs involved.
Warriors and came through that test, you know, coming off the back of a loss. So I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory.
So here's where we stand. A heavyweight title eliminator is now under a cloud of controversy. One fighter's career might be in jeopardy, and the other is facing serious allegations that could destroy his reputation. This isn't just about one dirty test, it's about the integrity of heavyweight boxing itself. What do you think should happen to Dubois if this gets confirmed? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because this story is far from over.
It wasn't the most skilled heavyweight fight I've ever seen, but it was just what the fans wanted to see. The fans wanted that, you know what I mean? That was blood and guts, but God and name Dubois.
So here's where we stand. A heavyweight title eliminator is now under a cloud of controversy. One fighter's career might be in jeopardy, and the other is facing serious allegations that could destroy his reputation. This isn't just about one dirty test, it's about the integrity of heavyweight boxing itself. What do you think should happen to Dubois if this gets confirmed? Drop your thoughts below, smash that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes, and subscribe because this story is far from over. But wait, there's another layer to this mess that nobody's talking about. The timing of when these results came back is absolutely suspicious. We're talking about a test that should have been processed weeks ago, but the results conveniently surface right when Dubois was being positioned for bigger fights. The British Boxing Board of Control is now under massive pressure to take action. But here's what's really messed up. They've been inconsistent with PED punishments before. Some fighters get slapped on the wrist, others get career-ending suspensions. Which version of justice is Dubois going to face? And let's be real about what this means for the heavyweight landscape. Anthony Joshua's team was already eyeing Dubois as a potential opponent. You think they want anything to do with this controversy now? Tyson Fury's camp is probably laughing all the way to the bank, watching their competition implode. The worst part? Fabio Wardley's team is staying eerily quiet about potential legal action. Think about it. If you found out your fighter took a beating from someone who was juiced up, wouldn't you be screaming from the rooftops? Their silence is deafening and, frankly, pretty concerning. Here's what really gets me fired up about this situation. The fans who paid good money to watch what they thought was a clean fight between two elite athletes. They got robbed of authentic competition, and now they're left wondering how many other fights have been tainted by PEDs.